Welcome back, everybody. Today I've got a Trek domain in. The reason this bike is in is the customer's had enough of tubeless tyres, so we're going to do a conversion to TPU tubes. So let's show you how that's done. You can see the issues the customer's having every time they come to use the bike. The tyre's flat, they try and pump it up, the valve's blocked. It's usual tubeless setup, to be fair. I mean, don't get me wrong, tubeless is great, but it is a bit more maintenance than inner tubes, and hence the customer's now asked to go literally convert back to inner tubes. What we're going to do is going to change from a tubeless setup to a TPU tube setup. You've probably seen TPU in the press on the YouTube, etc, etc. There's lots of information out there about them. Very good tubes, to be fair. They're very lightweight, very puncture resistance, a nicer rolling resistance, and just a win-win-win really. So obviously when you're coming to save weight on your bike, it's always better to save rotating weight if possible, and these are going to save you probably 200 grams between a pair from a normal pair of inner tubes with better puncture resistance. So let's make a start fitting these to the bike. So I think this bike's finished bleeding all over my workshop floor, so we're going to get this wheel off. Just whip it out nice and easy. So yeah, it's made a bit of a mess of this, so it'll clean up easy enough. Let's just get the tyre off and clean it up with some water. Let's have a look at the real difference in weight between a TPU tube and a tubeless tyre, sealant and valve. So first of all, TPU tube, 25 grams. Just going to zero this container. Add 50 millilitres of sealant, which is probably an average for a road tyre. You might want to put a little bit more in, but you can proportion this up. So that's 50 grams, so obviously 70 millilitres would be 70 grams. And a tubeless valve itself. So we're looking at around about 55 grams all in for the tubeless setup. So that's sealant and the valve itself. So more than double the weight of a TPU tube. So that's the tyres and all the sealant removed, just washed out on my wash station, and just going to let them dry for a bit and then we can crack on. Dead easy, this job. Okay, so that's everything cleaned up now. So we just wiped the sealant off the rim, off the tyre, dried it all up. Now we just need to remove this tubeless valve that's still fitted. Obviously this is very tight. This is what Nipex parallel pliers are really good for. They don't mar the aluminium, you just grab hold of it, takes it straight out. So just unscrew the valve then. Just make sure when you buy your tubes, you buy one with a suitably long valve extension. This is a 60mm. You may have very deep section rims, so you might need a slightly longer one, an 80mm valve even, but these should be fine for this. So with TPUs, just put a little bit of air in these. You only need sort of 5 psi just to maintain their shape. That's enough. Don't go any putting more in like a normal tube because they will just literally explode. So obviously directional tyre, just line up your valve with the logo, pop the tyre on. No difference to a normal tube, obviously, it's just exactly the same. And these tyres are such a loose fit. These, for a tubeless setup, they're very loose. Potentially why the customer was having issues with it, so that's just gone straight on there. And just pop the tube in. Like I say, it's no different to a normal inner tube job, really. Just be careful not pinching it. Feed it through. Like I say, different schools of thoughts with TPUs regarding sort of compatibility with bikes with rim brakes. People say that the heat of a rim brake might be too much for a TPU tube. So they only recommend it for bikes with disc brakes, generally speaking. How much truth there is in that, I don't know. Don't know if there'd been any scientific studies done or just word of mouth. But that's my recommendation to a customer from what I can read as well. So just drop the tyre on. This is, like I say, it's a very easy fitting tubeless tyre. Just be careful not to pinch it. Push your slack into the wheel, into the well, and then you should just be able to push this on without any levers. There we go, dead easy. I've got arthritis in my thumb and I can still get that on, so shows you how easy that one was. So now it's just a matter of inflating it. Obviously with it being a tubeless setup, you will get the usual tubeless popping noises while it beads into the rim. Hopefully that's the only noises we get and not a big bang. Okay, we're at 80 psi there. Let's just check the beading of the tyre. So the important bit is this line that you see here. You need an even gap between the rim and this line all the way around. And that shows it's seated properly. So you just spin it around. This side's fine. We'll just check the other side. So there's a small section here that's not beaded properly. You can't see the line there, you see. You give it time, it'll probably pop itself on, but I'm just going to put a fraction more air in so that can pop over that lip. There we go. Perfect. That stays complete. Some may call this a downgrade, some may call it an upgrade. Depends what school of thought you've got. For me personally, I'm going to be a big fan of these. Tubeless setups are great when they work, and they're a big hassle when they don't work. And a lot of people on road bike thinks it's probably overkill, really, to be fair, which I'm inclined to agree with. On mountain bikes, they make really good sense, but on road bikes, I think TPU could be the winner, to be fair. So let's give this back to the customer and see how they get on. So I've got a big review of 9 TPU tubes that I purchased from AliExpress, surprise, surprise. We're going to do a review of those: puncture resistance, ease of fitting, accuracy of weight, how easy they are to repair, etc, etc. So I'm just going to start filming that shortly. So keep an eye out, get subscribed, and you'll get a notification when that video drops. So hope you enjoyed this video. I think it's something that anyone can do at home, really, to be fair. It's certainly a lot easier than fitting tubeless tyres in the first place. It's just an inner tube at the end of the day. So give it a go and let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.